Welcome to Petty Details, where the crew gallivants down a tree-lined lane of conversation on all kinds of different subjects. Join the crew as they jump in the Wayback Machine in the quest for nuggets of knowledge. Our journey will allegedly drop some petty details on you that you didn't know you needed to know until now. Hello, and welcome to Petty Details.
Hello,
Hi.
hello.
So today we are going to go in the Wayback Machine, and good thing Cam wore his shirt.
I love it.
I did it.
Yay!
And I've always got it
And-
right here behind me.
Yes, where it should be. And
Yes.
I am wearing the Agile Donut shirt.
That's the quickest donut I've seen.
Right?
You know.
Dancing donut.
Mhm.
And Monica should have worn her history and shit shirt,
I should have.
but she
You
did
know.
not. She has let us down.
Pass me, let me down. Let present
Yeah.
me down. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, it is somewhere, it's
yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
It is.
It's gotta be on the watch for it.
That's right.
It's actually clean too. It's in the other room. But
Fail.
I was not given a heads up as to what we were discussing.
No, you
tonight,
weren't.
It's
so-
on it's on vacation. It's fine.
So
That's right. That's true. I usually do not give you guys a heads up on what we're talking about.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
grabbed
true.
a shirt. Honestly, I'm like, I hope that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll make it fit.
And I should know by now to just wear a shirt
Yeah.
on Friday.
Please wear a shirt, always on
Yeah.
camera.
Next week I'm not
Well,
gonna
I
wear
mean,
a
I
shirt.
always wear
I'm
a
gonna
shirt,
be-
but I mean,
yeah,
like
no.
a merch, like wear
We're-
our merch.
Yeah, we're
Next
not
week is
naked
the
podcasting.
nude episode.
No.
Yeah.
Naked
Absolutely
podcasting
not.
would be bad.
Everything shoulders up.
That's a
but
whole-
You
that
guys
is a-
know. You guys know. Yeah.
That is a whole different website.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
we'll have to get that on OnlyFans instead. They need to pay us for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exclusive footage. Petty
Exactly.
detail.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you that when I started researching this episode, I didn't
Mhm.
know shit about shit.
Okay.
Like I did not know
Yeah.
anything about this.
okay.
Okay.
If you didn't, then I'm gonna guess that I knew
Right.
very little too.
Yeah, I knew like the painting that you see of this. That's all I knew.
Okay, broad strokes. Got it.
Yeah. Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in the Wayback Machine to colonial times.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So on December 16th, 1773, there was a
Mhm.
cold black night that had the moon silhouetting the masts of 3 ships in the harbor of Boston.
Okay. I see the
Oh.
painting already. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cutting through the quiet night, the men on the ships started to hear a crowd come towards them. Before they can react, men dressed as Native Americans and in dark cloaks descend upon their cargo and start to dump it into the bay.
What?
Okay, you feeling this?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so that is the end of the story.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
Good week, guys. We did our part.
Mic drop. Bye bye.
Yeah.
and we're done. So we're gonna go back to the beginning.
Mhm.
We are going farther back in the Wayback Machine to 1764.
Okay.
At this point in time, the not yet United States has a bunch of colonies, right?
Mhm.
They are under British rule, and things are chugging along just fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But
Hunky-dory.
for the past like 10 years or so, the British have been fighting in the French and Indian War,
Okay.
and they're broke.
Dang.
Okay. But this isn't really impacting the colonies until 1764. They
Okay.
have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in 1764, the British decide that they need to raise money, and the best way to do this is with the Sugar Act.
Okay.
So they've figured out that there's some smuggling going on of sugar and molasses
No.
Nice.
from the French and Dutch West Indies.
Okay.
So obviously they must end this so they can get paid tax on the imported sugar, right?
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
They've
They're the
get
British. Yeah.
Right. And they need money. Remember, they're broke.
No, that's true.
Right.
So they put in place this act that is basically putting taxes on any foreign molasses and sugar and bans imported rum.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
man.
that's gonna
So-
that's gonna hit hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you understand why is all the rum gone? Well, because
Yeah.
the British started taxing it.
Yep.
So this irks the colonists,
Well, yeah,
but whatever.
'cause
It's
rum.
not, yeah, but whatever. It's not like a huge deal.
Okay.
Mhm.
Except the British go a step further, and they also put in place the Currency Act.
Okay.
Oof.
This act banned colony legislatures from printing money, paper money, and required the use of British currency to pay for all these taxes and debts.
What?
Right.
Well, because they didn't want to have to convert to their own currency.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And this wouldn't be so bad if the colonists had easy access to these British coins,
Right.
but they don't.
Right.
It's across the entirety of the sea.
Mhm.
Right.
Like,
so
what?
they're like, how am I supposed to pay for this?
You're
Right.
minting it across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell me how I'm supposed to get my hot little hands on this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Right, right.
Yeah.
The Queen's pounds. They
Yeah.
don't make sense. Yeah.
So this act starts to really annoy people because the colonists start to see the economy going down because of these acts, and that's not cool.
Right.
Okay. But it's really in 1765 that the British really start pissing off the colonists.
Okay.
They enact a quartering act. This one
quartering
says that the colonists must provide food, shelter, and supplies to British troops, like any British troop.
Yeah. They have
Yeah,
to provide
all right.
quarter. Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mhm. They also will need to make vacant houses and buildings suitable as barracks for troops if they happen to wander into their town.
Bruh.
Wow.
Mm. Yeah, so it's not just, hey, you have to take them in for a night. It's
Yeah.
oh
Right.
yeah, and you have to fix up this abandoned house.
Uh-huh. You must house
That's-
them, literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And feed
And-
them and yeah, jeez.
Right. And because
wait,
there's
there's
always
more.
more. There's
Right.
always more. They have
How
to
far
provide
can we push them? Yeah.
Yeah.
they have to provide transportation for said troops.
Oh.
Bro, I got a horse. Like,
well, no, but literally that horse is also plowing my farm.
Yeah.
Like
right, right.
that
You want me
horse
to-
is the only mode of transportation my family has. That
Yeah.
Right.
like that horse is everything to that family
Everything.
at that point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the British Army is
That's-
like, nope.
That's your 1765 Tesla, basically.
Oh
at
yeah.
this point.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah.
Electric powered horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's more.
Of
The
course.
British decide to raise taxes to pay for troops' room and board,
Mhm.
which is funny since these colonists aren't getting paid to make these
Mm-mm.
vacant houses suitable
Right.
for the troops, and they certainly aren't being reimbursed for supplies and food.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, hey, we need you to pay for all this stuff for these troops. Also, we're gonna make you pay for it again
Yeah.
when tax season comes around.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Well, screw you guys.
Yeah. So here's a petty detail. The current Third Amendment forbids quartering soldiers in private homes in peacetime just because of the anger about the Quartering Act of 1765.
Wow.
So that's where it came from.
Okay.
And now you
Dang.
understand why they were like, put that shit in there because I'm not
Oh,
dealing
yeah.
with that.
Well, yeah. and
That's the
rightfully
third one
so.
for a reason. Yeah.
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 We're like, huh, what did
Exactly.
we not like? Oh, put that in there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's going right up there at the top.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
So now the colonists are starting to get uppity about this extra BS the British are trying to
Mhm.
put on them
Mhm.
when the British come in with some more.
British are coming.
But wait. There's more.
That's right. They make the Stamp Act.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this act was again to pay for the British Army, but was to pay for them staying in North America. And this act taxed things like legal documents. So think marriage licenses, wills, any kind of license and contracts.
Mhm.
It also taxes newspapers.
Dude.
Like
that's
they have to
crazy.
pay to print their paper.
Their
What?
own newspaper.
Right.
Wow.
Also,
Oh, it's
Also,
not done.
yeah,
Yeah.
it taxes diplomas,
Diplomas.
playing cards,
What?
dice.
most-
That's not even paper.
Yeah,
That's the
What?
most
What's happening?
random
They just
list of
they
things to
lumped in like
tax.
gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just lumped
Yeah.
all of it in.
Almanacs, and the almighty pamphlet.
Oh, dang those
the
pamphlets.
pamphlets.
You can't
That's
tax the
why they dropped
pamphlets.
off. Yeah.
Yep.
Can't tax pamphlets, man.
But
That's
pamphlets get stuff
crazy.
done.
Exactly.
People's
Pamphlets
leisure
change the
time they're
world.
taxing.
Yeah.
Pamphlets
Can you
change the
imagine that?
world, though.
And then I don't understand. It's like a marriage license. Okay, I can sort of see that. A contract, I can sort of see that. But then you throw in dice? Like what?
Dice
And
is
playing
crazy
cards.
because yeah, like that's just for your entertainment type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like throwing shit at the wall.
Right. They're
And
like,
seeing
what
what
what are they
sticks.
willing to pay for?
Right.
Yeah.
Really not much.
How
'cause-
far can we push them before they
Right.
completely revolt?
Well, let me tell you.
Oh.
Yeah. Well.
And to really put it to the colonists, the British say, cool, so you have to pay extra for all this stuff.
Mhm.
You probably won't be able to read your favorite newspaper because they can't afford to print anything.
Yep.
And you have to pay this tax in British sterling.
This is insane. So like my
Good
thing
luck
is like,
getting
okay,
any.
you put these tax on it and then they can't afford to make it. You know what I mean? They can't afford to print the newspaper or
Mhm.
whatever, blah blah blah. Then you don't have the money. Like I don't know. I'm not like no one's able to buy the newspaper, therefore you cannot have the tax on it anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
getting any income from any kind of tax from that.
Right.
They're
It
shooting
doesn't make
themselves
It's
sense.
in the
just
foot.
counterintuitive to yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shooting themselves in the foot for sure.
So it's called the
Right.
Stamp Act because once you paid the tax with this British coin that
Mhm.
you can't get easily, they would attach a stamp to the item you just bought. Oh
They
yeah.
verified your purchase.
And if you try and get around this, you'll be prosecuted for non-payment.
Oh
God.
my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. So now people are obviously pissed.
They
Yeah.
two-step authenticated them.
Yeah,
They were
for
like-
real.
They were
Yeah.
like,
Before
okay.
two-step authentication was a
Right,
thing. Yeah.
right. Yep.
And these groups start forming to talk about this stuff. And one of these groups is the Sons of Liberty.
Okay.
And the Sons of Liberty pops up in port cities like New York, Boston, and they're really pissed about the Stamp Act.
Mhm.
Like that's the one that, broke the
Yeah.
camel's back.
I
Yeah.
was gonna
Right.
say, yeah.
And their whole idea is that they're going to protest it.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? But it's too vanilla for them. So they take it further.
Did they make a pamphlet? Just kidding. Joking.
No, not yet. So they take it further and they start
until they can get the
threatening
taxes away.
violence. Yeah, exactly.
Let's start threatening violence.
Yep, against these British agents and any loyalists.
Okay.
Okay.
They are going so far as to get embarrassing stories printed about public officials in the papers that are still running.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, any of this sound
What's an
familiar?
embarrassing story in the late 1700s?
Well,
Oh.
slander and prop. The
I
same as an
s-
embarrassing story
Yeah.
is today for
I
politicians.
saw your knees. I
Yeah.
saw your knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
but
can see that like not much has changed today.
no. Mm-mm. I was gonna say propaganda at its finest.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Slander.
exactly.
Yay.
Right.
So the Sons of Liberty has a motto that you've probably heard. No taxation without representation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't know that came from them.
No, me neither.
I didn't realize it came from that group, but I had heard it before.
Yeah. Because the colonists do not have a representative in the British Parliament where all these new
Mhm.
acts are coming from.
Right.
Right.
But some of these groups are really rash about their protesting. There is one group in Boston that torments this guy named Andrew Oliver,
Okay.
who was appointed as a stamp agent. They take his effigy, this model that they make that looks like this dude Oliver, and hang it from this elm tree, the Liberty Tree.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this tree is like a gathering place for protesters.
Okay.
And their whole goal with hanging this effigy is to scare Oliver into resigning his post.
Mhm.
But he doesn't.
Okay.
They force this guy to say he won't enforce the act, but they don't really believe him. So they head on over to his house and ransack it.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Escalating. Got it.
Escalating
Yeah.
quickly, yes.
Yeah.
right.
And he
Which
finally
seems to
resigns.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he finally resigns the post that he didn't even want in the first place. This poor guy. And he does go on to be the lieutenant governor of Massachusetts.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, but yeah, poor guy. He was like, I don't even want this job. This job
Right.
is
Like
worth it
it's
to
not
me.
worth it.
I'm mad chilling. Yeah.
Yeah. But by now, the British are not pleased about this group meeting at this tree. So, of course, they're going to do something about it, and they decide to cut it down.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Because
And-
if there's no tree, you can't gather
Right.
anywhere else.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
The,
And
the tree next to that one's like, oh God.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah.
And the ground around the tree became known as Liberty Hall.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. But not all the Sons of Liberty groups are like this. Because remember, they're like different factions kind of in these cities, right?
Mhm.
There are some that are just trying to like keep the peace and protest nicely. They're denouncing these other groups that are ransacking people's houses.
Mhm.
And eventually, the individual Sons of Liberty groups join forces like Voltron.
Not like
Okay.
Voltron. No, that's
Yeah.
too good.
Yes, she slipped that reference right in
That
there.
Yes,
was
I
good.
did.
That was good.
Well, all this protesting gets the Stamp Act repealed
Oh.
on
Okay.
March 1st, 1766.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Not so fast.
Sure.
No. Yeah, I was like, oh, what's the
I was
catch?
like, but wait, there's
There's
more.
Exactly. So the British are like, fine, screw you guys. We'll take away the Stamp Act. But the exact same day it's repealed, they put in a different act in place.
Of course they did.
They had that one ready.
Oh,
They
it
had a
was locked and
backup.
loaded.
Yeah. They had
Called
a plan
the
C, D, E. Yeah.
yeah. And this one's called the Declaratory Act.
Mm.
Okay.
And this act says that the British Parliament could make any taxes they wanted and put them on the colonies in any case.
Crazy.
We're gonna literally now just throw everything at the wall.
Right. And then
Yeah.
it automatically passes because, like you said, there's no
No
one to
represent.
go against
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
The people
well?
the people in the British Parliament are like, we need money.
right.
They're being, protesting
Mhm.
jerks over there.
Right.
So we're just
Mhm.
gonna tax them more.
Right.
Yeah, they don't care about us.
That worked out really well for them, didn't it?
Yeah. So now people are like, oh no, we don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they start writing the almighty pamphlet.
Woo!
You knew it was gonna come in.
Pamphlets.
We need
I'm telling you,
shirt
they changed
idea.
the world.
Shirt idea. The almighty
Oh.
pamphlet with an angel ring on the top, like a halo on top. And it's
Oh.
got like the heaven gate lights behind it. Not the
Oh, there
heaven's
we go.
gate, not the
No,
cult,
no.
but
Different gates, but yes.
But like just like the shining lights behind
Yes.
it. For sure. And it's just a pamphlet. It literally probably
Yep.
just says pamphlet.
The almighty pamphlet.
Oh my gosh, it's like the bill thing, oh my gosh, the song. What's the
From Schoolhouse Rock?
Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock. Thank you. It's I'm just a bill. I'm just a
Oh,
pamphlet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
stuff.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Lovely.
So there's this
Pamphlets.
farmer in Pennsylvania, John Dickinson, who
Okay.
writes this pamphlet called The Late Regulations Respecting the British Colonies in 1765.
Mhm.
And he's super pissed about the Stamp Act in particular.
Mm.
And so this pamphlet, he talks about boycotting British merchants.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the Declaratory Act really pisses him off. And he starts writing these letters in 1767 and 1768. to the newspapers and then later as a pamphlet.
Yeah.
And
it's like a handheld newspaper. You can get all your
Exactly.
information right then and there.
Yes.
yeah, it's perfect.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty colors.
Yeah. And this pamphlet says that the British have no right to impose taxes on the colonies. That all these taxes are making the colonists slaves to the British. And there needs to be a distinction between duties to regulate trade and duties to increase revenue.
Okay.
And a duty is a tax on imported goods.
Mhm.
Okay. So he's like, you can't just
is the duty like kind of like a tariff or
I don't
or is
know.
that something different? Okay.
Sim
My understanding of a tariff.
Similar but different application, I think, if
Okay.
I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's reaching way back.
Yeah. Way back.
Civics.
I
High school
know.
civics. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so this basically is saying, yeah, we can trade stuff and you can tax on that, but you can't just tax because you're broke and you want to pay
And
for your
tax for the
troops.
sake of taxing, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So people start to listen.
I want a tax counter for like the amount of times we say the word tax in this episode.
Right.
Jesus, I know, an act,
And
Yep.
yes.
20,000 acts.
Mm-hmm.
So these people start to listen and they start boycotting British imports.
Okay.
Nice.
So what do the British do? Do they back down?
No, they double down. They
No.
double down.
Yeah. They're the British.
They're the British. So what do the British do? They decide to put in another act.
Yay. So basically we do pamphlets, they do acts.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this new act is called the Townsend Act.
Okay. What
Okay.
does it say?
This time they're really trying to control these like totally uncontrollable colonists.
Absolutely.
And this
Rebels.
Townsend Act is actually 4 acts in one thing.
Okay.
And it sort of cut back on taxes on other things, but still puts these taxes in place on imported goods like glass, lead, paint, paper, and tea.
Okay.
So
they took some away and then they taxed other things.
Right, right. It's the fine print. It's
Yeah.
the note. They're like, oh, by the way, this, and this.
Yeah.
Right.
But the list of stuff you just rattled off, like that's some pretty like important stuff, especially for some growing colonies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And the money from the taxes was going to pay the salaries of the colonial governors and judges. Okay. And they do this because the British think if they're paying them, then they will be loyal to, to them because they know who butters their bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what you butter bread with? A
knife.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But the British are getting a little annoyed because these protesters who are boycotting things and writing pamphlets are making them lose money. So they're actually like getting some traction here.
Okay.
And for the next couple of years, things go on like this. Colonists are joining these groups like the Sons of Liberty. They're writing pamphlets. Even colonies like Massachusetts and Virginia start writing letters to Britain, like, hey, you can't tax us.
Strongly worded letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But this is going on for a long time.
Yeah.
It's got old English curse words in it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
For real.
Witch.
So in March of 1770, the Brits have had enough. And they decide that they are going to send in the troops to calm things down.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Because the military presence is going to be super helpful.
Right. Also, you have to house and feed these people. Yeah.
Yes.
That won't make them upset.
But also, you have to feed them too.
Yeah, exactly. So some of these protests have been turning violent and turning into riots. Again, nothing has changed.
No.
And this protest on March 5th won't be any different.
Okay.
So colonists start getting rowdy. They get angry that the troops have set foot in Boston.
Okay.
And they surround this group of troops.
Oh, dang.
The troops get freaked out and they open fire on the surrounding group.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah. They end up killing 3 and wounding 2 more.
Okay.
In the chaos, the troops are able to withdraw, but this will be known as the Boston Massacre.
Okay.
So the troops are charged with murder, but they aren't convicted of it. They end up getting convicted of lesser charges.
Okay.
Okay. Petty detail here.
Mm-hmm.
John Adams, the founding father,
Mm-hmm.
was their lawyer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
That is interesting.
Petty detail you didn't know. All right.
Yep.
So the other thing that the colonists are pissed about.
Fathers.
Yeah. So the other thing that the colonists are pissed about is the East India Company. I'm sure you've heard about this from Pirates of the Caribbean, but I'll give you some background anyway.
So y'all are gonna like me. I haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's okay.
What?
And now we're gonna move on to your petty detail.
Just put it. That's a petty detail right there. Just put it on the damn list.
Right. We have a whole list running for Cam.
Oh gosh. We're gonna put taxes on the piece of paper that the list is on. Yeah.
I'm gonna start putting acts down so you watch these movies.
No.
Nope.
You must watch by this date.
Yeah, exactly. Or
we're gonna write pamphlets because you haven't watched these movies.
Yeah. So the East India Company was founded around 1600.
Okay.
And that was formed to trade spices and goods with Asia and India.
Okay.
And this is like the epitome of the big bad corporation.
Gotcha.
All right. They dealt in the slave trade. They had their own army, which was bigger than the British army at the time.
Oh, dang.
And they used this army to keep people they were using, like Indians, in line with force.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they were the mercenaries.
Yeah. They also participated in officially sanctioned looting.
Oh.
Ooh.
Legal looting.
Right.
Yeah. And they even sold illegal opium to China.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they're into everything.
Yeah.
They will do anything to make money.
Stellar business model there.
Yeah. They do not
in
give
every
a shit.
pot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're like, I can make money on this. Done.
Right.
Is it legal? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I'm making money. That's what matters.
Exactly. Yeah. So they are a privately owned company, but they're like tight with the British. And they go around doing things to help the British rule.
Okay.
Like even taking over places with their army to hand it over to British rule.
Oh.
That's
obviously
crazy.
for a price.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But the British are broke. How are they paying this army?
Right.
I don't know, but
I wonder how.
Right.
This is how they pretty much stay in business and they don't get caught or anything.
Yeah.
Is because the British are protecting them.
Right.
And in 1773, the British give them a monopoly over tea imports to the colonies. They do this to drive the prices down and help bail out the East India Company, which was struggling.
And it will never upset the colonies ever.
No.
Totally.
Right.
Why would you say that?
A monopoly?
It's fine.
Never.
It's fine.
Ever.
Yeah.
So the colonists are pissed that the East India Company is being bailed out.
Yeah.
And they have to pay yet one more tax on stuff that they now can't get anywhere else. They are pissed about all these taxes. Like they are mad. They are pissed about the Boston Massacre.
Right.
So when an East India Company ship named the Dartmouth pulls into Boston Harbor in November of 1773, they've had enough. And the colonists decide that they're going to do something about it.
Heck yeah, they are.
Now, in the same month, other East India Company ships had been turned away in protest in New York and Philadelphia.
Okay, so they're starting to try and boycott.
Right.
All up and down the
That's right.
eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
They're like,
Dartmouth.
you know what, fam? We're good.
Yeah.
Y'all can go back.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with this. Yeah.
Right.
And they really were trying to do that because they don't want any trouble.
Mm-mm.
They're just trying to make money.
Right.
Like I said, they don't give a shit about taxes or anything like that. They just want to, drop their tea off and make some money.
Right.
So the Dartmouth gets to Boston Port November 28th. And right away, Boston locals working on the docks are like, nope, we're not unloading it. Send it back.
Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
safe travels.
Right.
Yeah.
But this ship doesn't leave like the ones in New York and Philadelphia.
Okay.
Now, there is a law in place that says cargo must be unloaded in 20 days of porting.
Okay.
Must be sold at an authorized dealer. And if the load isn't unloaded in 20 days, the load will be seized by royal authorities, and the citizens of Boston will have to pay for it.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
So either way,
big
man's getting his money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on November 29th, the Sons of Liberty hold a meeting. And this meeting is with another group called the Boston Committee of Correspondence.
Okay.
And these people invite everybody to this meeting. Not just wealthy landowners. They want all the support they can get, even down to like the janitor. Like they want everybody there.
Yeah.
And in this meeting, they decide that the tea won't be unloaded and they're going to send it back.
Okay.
Right.
But they are afraid the ship might be unloaded in secret, so they put about 25 men on watch.
Okay.
At all hours.
Okay.
Now, the ship's captain, obviously, not happy because he's thinking this is going to ruin his career.
Right.
So then on November 30th, the governor gets involved and he tells this, quote, body of people, as they are called now, to stop protesting and disperse or else.
Okay.
And meanwhile, the guys on the Dartmouth are like, we understand that Boston is refusing delivery, but we can't really leave port until we receive word from our superiors. So it's like out of our hands.
Yeah.
You know, they can't do anything. This standoff goes until December 8th when two more ships arrive with tea in Boston.
Okay.
So the Beaver and the Eleanor.
Not the Beaver.
The Beaver, yeah. And by this time, the governor is super mad. And he orders the military to shoot at the Dartmouth if it tries to leave port.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is escalating quickly.
That seems a bit extreme, but like, okay.
Oh, there's high tension. Let's add guns.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Jeez. And I kind of feel bad for the guys on the Dartmouth. I mean, I know that they're like working for this big bad company, but they're like, dude, I'm just trying to do my job.
I was going to say they're literally just trying to do their jobs.
Yeah. Don't shoot at me. Like,
yeah.
So on the 13th, the people of Lexington, Massachusetts, decide to join this fight. And they have a bonfire and burn all the tea in town.
Oh.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Dang.
So on the 14th, this body of people are getting kind of antsy because it's getting close to the 20th day.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to get clearance from customs to send the tea back.
Right.
Okay, so they're trying to do it the right way. So 10 a.m. on the 16th, customs denies their bid to send the tea back legally.
Yeah.
And
so
they tried. Right.
Yeah.
And by now, this is a big deal. Like 5,000 people. And this is about a third of the population of Boston at this time.
Oh dang. Goodness. Like literally everybody's involved.
Yeah. Right. Is at this meeting. And one guy is sent off to the governor's estate to try and get him to override the clearance to send this tea back.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, 5,000 people are waiting around. And by 3 p.m., the guy isn't back from the governor's estate.
Oh, geez.
But this group decides they want to ban tea from any of the surrounding towns.
Okay.
Okay. So they're not happy.
Right.
At 5:45, the guy finally comes back from the governor's house and tells them that the governor told them to pound sand and that the tea will be unloaded.
Yeah. Governor's like, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crowd is now pissed.
They're like, oh, the tea will be unloaded, all right.
Yeah. And they're starting to like mill around outside this meeting house. Meanwhile, the Sons of Liberty kind of thought this like might happen. So they have been busy making their own plans.
Mm-hmm.
And they start to rile this crowd up.
Which probably doesn't take much, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but still.
Mm-hmm. So some of the Sons of Liberty start dressing as Mohawk Native Americans. So
Which
obviously there was some
yeah.
plan for this that was in the works.
Yeah.
You don't just have this stuff in your closet, right?
No, you have to,
Yeah. There's some premeditation going on here.
Yeah. And people who didn't premeditate
right.
are pulling their cloaks and putting soot on their faces to disguise themselves.
Oh, dang.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And the core group of 150 people and some onlookers head to the harbor.
Okay.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
So at 6:10, this group of 150 split into 3 groups and board the 3 ships.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
But thousands are watching from the shore.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't
That's
realize
gotta be intimidating from the ocean. Like,
yeah.
Like I thought it was like, I don't know, 6 guys, because that's what it showed on the painting that I knew, right?
Yeah.
They didn't show all these people on the docks and everything.
No.
Yeah.
But it was huge. It was
huge, yeah.
Massive, yeah.
So at this point, the crews are like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Crew's like, my life's not worth it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't get paid enough, basically.
Yeah,
exactly. And the groups are smart, and they only target the tea, and they start taking it from the hold and dumping 18,000 pounds, British pounds, worth of it into the sea. And that's money, not weight.
Right. 18,000, wow.
Yeah. Petty detail here. The Sons of Liberty broke one lock accidentally during this operation, and they replaced it.
Because they're just that nice.
Yeah.
Right.
They're stand-up guys, I mean.
Right.
So that's the other thing. It takes 3 hours almost to unload this tea. So by 9 p.m., all the tea is dumped.
Wow.
And people don't know really what to do now.
They're like, and anticlimactic, cool.
So they just kind of go home.
But they just like, disperse calmly.
Nice to play, guys, but
yeah, pretty much. They're like, okay.
Like, man, no one died. I'm going home.
Yeah. But all the participants decide to keep their mouths shut on who was in these groups.
Okay.
So afterwards, the body of people starts to poll colonists in from town and out of town. Like, how do you feel about what went down?
Right.
But the reaction is actually split.
Okay.
Some people thought it was necessary, but some weren't a fan and thought it put all the colonists at risk.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could see that.
Yeah. Right. But the British don't back down.
Of course not.
When do they not?
Right. Yeah. So the parliament gets pissed. And what do? They pass more acts. Exactly. Yes. So one of which cuts off Boston's port until they paid for the tea.
God dang it. Okay.
Another one said that you couldn't have a meeting without approval.
Bro.
Oh my gosh.
At what point? I mean, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just like putting everything in there.
They're like, all right, now we're dictators. You get to,
Right.
Yeah.
So the British appoint new people in the Massachusetts government and enhance their powers.
Okay.
And what do? They bring back the Quartering Act.
Yes.
That so many people were mad about.
Yeah.
Okay.
because that went over so well the
They're
first
like,
time.
which one did they like the most?
Right?
I just can't believe how stupid these people were.
Yeah.
They're like, here, let me keep poking you.
Right.
Let me keep
Mhm.
poking the bear here.
Oh, you're
Right,
getting pissed
right.
off? Yep. We're
Yeah,
gonna
let's give
Right.
you
keep
another
doing
act.
this.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like 16 acts. I mean, come
This is
on.
for real.
Chill out with the acts.
Yeah.
So they also don't stop there.
Mhm.
They took the fur trade that was running between the Ohio and the Mississippi rivers
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and they give it to the French.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's pour some more gasoline on the
Right?
fire.
Right. And now we're involving the French.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Right, exactly. So our pamphlet writers
Yay. They're
decide
back.
they decide to join forces, and all of this leads to the formation of the Continental Congress in 1774.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So there you have it, the story of the Boston Tea Party that I did not know.
Right, right. It's more
I
in
did
depth
not
than you can
realize.
imagine.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like I knew it was a result of, a bunch of taxes and, people were
Mm-hmm.
it was basically a breaking point. People got
Right.
pissed off,
Right.
whatever. I didn't realize how many taxes and acts
Yeah.
went into
Yeah.
that
Why
it took
they were actually
before,
pissed. Yeah.
before, how much it took before they were like, no
Yeah,
more.
because they're, in school or whatever, you're like, oh, they're taxing tea. Who cares?
Right.
Right. And all the acts you were saying were recognizable, but I didn't know what they meant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like some
Oh
of them,
yeah.
and then they were like extra, like I was like, oh, I don't
Well, and
know.
that's like, I mean, Meg, like you said, oh yeah, we were taught that they were taxing tea. Cool. What they didn't teach us is all of the other. I mean,
Right.
they said, yeah, they're taxing a bunch of stuff, but like they don't.
Right.
I don't remember them like
No.
They would
And
say like,
really
oh, they're
listing out.
enacting the Stamp Act, they're enacting this, but we never went in depth of what
Right.
that actually did. I was
Right.
like,
yeah,
so I
you're
was
like,
like,
who
oh,
cares?
yeah.
Right.
I was like,
Exactly.
stamps. Okay, they have taxes on stamps right now. What do you mean?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
All
but
of
it's
that on
like,
top of the quartering act. That's like, guess what?
Right.
right. And I
Yeah.
think that they do that because, kids aren't going to understand any of this.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You start paying taxes, you start understanding these
Yeah,
colonists.
it hits
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
different. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So there you have it. The story of the Boston Tea Party.
Wow.
I hope that
Well,
you guys learned something today.
I'll
Definitely.
I'll pour a mug of tea out for the homies, I
That's
guess.
There
right.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So stay petty, my friends, but not as
Indeed.
petty as the British Parliament.
Correct.
Never.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.